What's up, guys? Miticus here, the coach for the Boston Beedrills. Welcome to Season 5 of the American Pokemon Association. After a very disappointing season last season, where we went 1 win, 11 losses, we are looking forward, we are forgetting about the past, and it's a fresh start for us. I really looked at the draft this season as an opportunity to draft better, draft more strategically, and that's what I did. And I'm very happy with the strength of my team this season. I do feel like I could have drafted a little bit better later on in the draft, in the later rounds, around maybe like 8 through 12, 8 through 11. But overall, I'm very happy, and I think our team this season is going to be very threatening. To start it off, the first Pokemon that I chose in Tier 1 was a Pokemon that has been a contributing factor the past 2 seasons, in Season 3 and Season 4. Banded Caterpie had him in Season 3. Banded Caterpie won the championship. Next season, Cloud Nimbus drafted him. Cloud went to, I believe, either the semifinals or I think it was the semifinals where he did lose. But either way, this Pokemon has been a huge factor for both coaches. And this season, I jumped on him when he was still there. I was like number 15 or 16 in the draft, so he made it, that many picks. He was there. I grabbed him. Welcome to the Boston Beedrills, my friend, Volcanion. Now, Volcanion has stats that are just impressive, to say the least. 80 base HP, 110 attack, 120 defense, 130 special attack, 90 special defense, and a subpar speed stat at 70. But, you can slap a scarf on him, and he's just hard to switch into. He's just really hard to switch into. He does have the ability Water Absorb, and that's going to be key for my team. It's going to be great ability for my team to help my team, and you'll see why later on. So Volcanion, he's going to be a threat, and I think he's really going to help the Boston Beedrills to a better start this season. Right now on the power rankings that Kyle is doing, who I think is Sleeping Knight 77 is the name that he goes by, like on Twitter. He ranked the Boston Beedrills at number 13 out of 20. It may sound good, but it actually isn't, because he actually split it up between the returning coaches and the new coaches. And yes, I did say 20. We have 20 coaches in the American Pokemon Association this season, which is a tremendous amount. But it's going to be very exciting because we have a ton of talent. So yeah, Volcanion is going to help us rise above all these people. I just know it. We're going to rise. We're going to go from 13. Well, probably we're at like 18 or 19 overall. I would say maybe even 20. But we're going to go up. We're going to go up fast, and Volcanion is going to be key to that success. So Volcanion is going to pair very well. By the way, Volcanion's nickname is Pompeii, which I think is a pretty cool nickname. So Pompeii the Volcanion is going to pair very well with this returning Pokemon from Season 3 that we drafted. It is going to be Roger Rabbit, the Diggersby. So Diggersby, I'm going to be using the shiny form because I think it looks better. It's got a little less color to it, but I like the way it looks a little bit more. It looks more like a rabbit, I guess. So Diggersby was on our squad in Season 3, and we actually was almost able to get him the MVP for that season. He had a tremendous amount of kills. I think it was right around 20, and nobody wanted to go against Diggersby. When you slap a Choice Scarf and you go huge power, look at those stats. 56 doesn't look impressive, but when it doubles from huge power and you make him adamant and you give him 252 EVs, He's at 198 before the huge power boost, which doubles it. It doubles it. So you're almost at a 400 attack stat on this thing. Now the speed tier is an issue. That's why you want to slap a choice scarf on it. But my thoughts are maybe, just maybe, we can run like an agility or something and a leftovers to give him just a little bit more health to take a hit to get that agility up and run that agility. You don't need the choice scarf. You can start returning. You can start earthquaking. You can start knocking off. You can start U-turning. And it becomes a real issue for people to switch into. I'm very, very stoked about Roger Rabbit, the Diggersby, returning to the Boston Beedrills this season. Another huge factor is, what's Diggersby's probably biggest weakness? It's water. What's Pompey's ability? Water absorb. I think these two go tremendously well together, and I'm very, very excited for them to wreak havoc on the other coaches. Want to make sure there's nothing else I need to mention here. I don't believe so. Also, another weakness to Diggersby, grass. Pompey should be able to eat most grass moves with that fire, with that resistance from the fire side that he has. It's going to be neutral, but he has a good enough defense, a good enough HP stat where I do think he's going to be able to take those grass moves for Diggersby. And the next mon that we have, the next Pokemon that we're bringing in, the next one that we drafted, is a Pokemon that I don't know much about. But at this point, I needed a wall. Because Volcanion, yes, he has decent defenses, but he's not a wall. He can't recover. He only got so much life in him. He's going to do a lot of damage while he's out there. But I needed a wall. And again, this is somebody that I haven't drafted before. I've seen him used a couple times. Coaches have had success with him, but I think I'm going to be able to have a lot of success with this mon, and that mon is Mandibuzz, who we are calling Bone Keeper. Because he has that bone in the back of his head. He's keeping the bone safe. And also, if you look at the Pokédex entry, I believe it says that Mandibuzz builds its nest out of bones, which is, that's pretty cool. So Mandibuzz is going to be our wall. It's got decent defenses. It's got a great HP stat at 110. As you see, its defense is 105. Special defense is 95. It's got a decent speed, not anything too great, but 80's not too bad. So we'll have Roost on it. And I think it's going to be great for our team. It's going to be able to take most hits for my mons. Say, Roger Rabbit's in there, a grass move's coming, Pompey's running a little bit of he's only running on a little bit of health at that point. He's been wore down. Mandibuzz is going to be able to go in there and take that hit because obviously it's resistance to grass. So that's pretty fantastic. He's also going to be a defogger for us. And for me, I don't like having flying types as my hazard removal, just simply because he comes in, he takes that 25% damage. But Mandibuzz is so bulky that whenever he comes in and either he switches in or he just comes in free. But if he does switch in to a hit, he's going to take that 25% initially. But I do believe that whatever hits him, he's going to be able to take, as long as it's not a super effective stab move. I think that's what it kind of would boil down to. So an electric stab's obviously going to do a lot of damage. A bug stab, it's going to be neutral because it's flying, but it kind of just depends on who's sending it our way. But I do think Mandibuzz is going to be great for our team. I haven't used him. So we'll have to see how it plays out. I have to get comfortable with him. I'm going to have to do a lot of prepping with him. But I do think that he's going to be great. He's going to be great. So next up is going to be another mon that I've never used. But last season, this tier 3 Pokemon came very, very close to being the MVP. In a league format that included Ubers. So a tier 3 was competing with Ubers for the MVP title because of how good this Pokemon is. And that Pokemon is going to be Sharpedo the Game Shark. Or Game Shark the Sharpedo, whichever you want to say it. And we're actually going to be using the shiny form. I'm going to go ahead and switch that over because I think that looks super sweet. So with that ability we're going to be using is Speed Boost. We could use Rough Skin depending on what situations we're looking at, but Speed Boost is more than likely always going to be our go-to ability on Sharpedo. Over here we look at the stats. He's got a decent HP at 70, but his defenses all around, like his defense and his special defense, are trash. So the HP stat, it doesn't make a lot of sense, but maybe it can help us live a hit. Probably not two, but maybe a hit. So we'll be running, probably the Protect and the Speed Boost. Go and get that speed up so we can start walloping things with that 120 attack. His speed's already fairly good at 95. It doesn't really matter with the Speed Boost, but, we may be able to outspeed some Choice Scarf things with that 95 speed. We can also run him Special, which is honestly what I see him being ran with more often than not, is a Special Sharpedo. I'm not used to this mon, like I said before. So we're going to have to do some tinkering, have to see what works best. I'm probably going to go watch and see how other coaches have used Sharpedo in the past and take some of those ideas into consideration and see if we can be successful using them this season. So our next mon, tier 4, because right now Pompeii, Volcanion tier 1, Diggersby tier 2, Mandibuzz tier 3, Sharpedo tier 3. The next is our tier 4, and that is going to be Exploud. And Exploud is such a dangerous Pokemon. And I just noticed on the layout he popped up in the wrong spot, but oh well, no worries there. Exploud with his 91 special attack, and that's okay. That's not bad. But when you slap a Choice Specs on this thing, and just nothing really wants to battle this thing, it's just gonna start Okoing things. I really like using Exploud. He's got Scrappy, so he can't hit those ghost types, which is really nice. He does have Crunch, which it's an okay attack stat. Actually, I'm just kind of curious of something real quick. Yeah, so special attack and his attack are both base 91. So you could run them either way. Just more often than not, I think most people run them a modest Choice Spec special Exploud. But he does have that crunch coverage there if I did want to do some big damage. Does he have anything else? I can't remember as far as dark moves go. Dark. He's got no. So nothing really. But he's got a lot of coverage. He's got Earthquake, which again is a physical move. But Boom Burst. Boom Burst is going to do so much damage to things. It's 140 40 power, special move, normal stat for Exploud with Choice Specs. Nothing wants to take it. So, Ghost, I don't care. With that Scrappy, they're going down. They're done. And we got Flamethrower. We got, I believe, Surf. Doesn't he have Surf? Yeah, he has Surf. So it's a great mon. We had him last season. We had him at the end of last season. Let me say that. We had him at the end of last season. We actually got him in a trade from Ben and Caterpie. I think we traded him Ambipom for him. And I really enjoyed using him, and I really wanted him to come back to the Boston Beedrills this season. Next up is a Pokemon that I've drafted every single season. Even in the Little Cup. It was its pre-evolution, but I still drafted some form of this Pokemon every single season for 5 seasons. And that is going to be Gourgeist. Gourgeist is such a good Pokemon. It's another wall for our team. and it has a lot of different moves that are really kind of quirky, but in the right situation, they can really, really work out for you. He has Toxic, he has Will-O-Wisp, so I can already start putting timers on Pokemon. He has the bulk to last. He has the recovery with Synthesis. He has recovery with Leech Seed. This Pokemon can really, really cause some issues. Its attack stat isn't bad either. I'm actually, in 5 seasons, I don't think I've ran a like an adamant Gourgeist before, but it's something I can definitely do because of that 100 base power, that base 100 attack that Gourgeist has. Its speed is but it does have Shadow Sneak, which is a great priority move. It's stab for Gourgeist. It's coming off that 100 base power. So, also, another huge thing with Gourgeist is I can scout with it. It has Frisk. I can see whatever the opponent is holding. And then, you just add on the leftovers. Gourgeist is going to stay around for quite a while. And I didn't put this on the layout, but we are going to be using the shiny Gourgeist because how sweet is that shiny right there? That is just such a sweet shiny. So that's going to be our Gourgeist. Again, there's a few seasons that I've used him well. There's a few seasons that I haven't used him well, but this season he's definitely going to work with my team, I feel like. He can take those water hits. He can take those grass hits for Diggersby. He can take those grass hits for Sharpedo. I can pretty much switch him into anything except like a stab dark move or a stab ice move, or a stab fire move, and he's going to do good. There might be some other weaknesses in there that I'm just not recalling off the top of my head, and I'm sure there are, but those are some pretty common moves that we can see, and he doesn't want to take those, but everything else, I mean, he's pretty much good to take it and just Synthesis right up, or throw a Leech Seed off and switch out and give another Pokemon recovery. I love Gourgeist. One of my favorite Pokemon of all time. Definitely my favorite Pokemon from Kalos, and I can't wait to use him this season. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Now, you may be thinking, well, you have 6 Pokemon up right now, and none of them are your Mega. So who is your Mega this year, Miticus? Well, I may have made a mistake on this one, guys. I may have made a mistake. I actually went and drafted Mega Pidgeot. Yeah. So I know nothing about this Mega, except that it can deliver no guard hurricanes, which is, phenomenal. It's phenomenal. It has a great speed. It has an amazing special attack. Look at that. 405 hurricane stabs are coming off of this thing. They cannot miss. No guard makes it where they cannot miss. This thing will cause issues in the right situations, but I have to figure out how to use it correctly. If I can use this thing correctly, there's no reason why this thing doesn't cause a lot of issues. It's got an 80 base defense, an 80 base special defense, an 83 HP. It should be able to take hits. There's no reason it shouldn't be able to take a hit or two. I could definitely see myself investing a little bit in HP instead of special attack, since it is already so high, and just making sure that I am surviving a few hits. The EVs are definitely there to play with. Hurricane Stab is already doing a tremendous amount, so I can definitely play around with that. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. Just something I've actually forgot to mention on the last few mons. I told y'all that Sharpedo's nickname was going to be Game Shark. Explout, and I'm sorry about the phone there. Explout's going to be the Menace. That's what we nicknamed him last season. Gourgeist has always been King Boo for us. And I thought I was being very creative here with Pidgeot, naming it Twitter. But apparently that is a common nickname for bird types. I was actually just kind of like on Twitter one day, and I was looking at my roster, and I saw the bird up there, and I was like, oh, wow, that's a great nickname, Twitter. But apparently that's already very used. It's common. So I tried to be creative, but didn't work out that time. So we're going to see how exactly this Pidgeot this Pidgeot works out for us this season. Hopefully it does well. Hopefully it can put the pressure. But we're gonna have to see. We're gonna have to learn how to use a lot of these mons because I haven't used any of them. Volcanion, the Mandibuzz, the Sharpedo, the Mega Pidgeot. I haven't used any of these mons, so I'm going to have to figure out how to be successful with them. It's going to involve a lot of prepping, and prepping honestly is one of my weaker things. So we're going to have to see how that goes. All right, so next up is a Pokemon that I've used recently, and it's kind of an interesting Pokemon. It can do a lot of things, but the Pokemon I'm talking about is Raikou. And I used Raikou recently in a tournament, and I did really well in the tournament. Ended up getting beaten by another Raikou. So it goes to show you that Raikou, he's a beast. He's got the Calm Mind, the Substitute. He pairs really well with HP Ice. I think he's going to do really well for us. Honestly, I'm just going back through my team right now, and I'm just realizing my team is actually really, really good this season. I have a lot of huge threats. He's got 100 base special defense. He's got a 90 base HP. He's got a little bit of bulk to him. He can take a hit. The substitutes are going to be a little bit harder to break, and that's going to be great. He's got 115 special attack. He's got 115 speed. Both of those are phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. We're not going to want to slap a choice specs on this thing, not unless we're running a different set than I'm used to. But we can do a lot of work with this Mon. He's going to be really, really dangerous. So we got Raikou here, and honestly, I'm really excited about this team. Just to kind of go back a little bit, also go back to my other team here. With Roger Rabbit, he's going to be helping out the Game Shark here, taking the electric attacks for him. King Boo can also take electric attacks if I want him to. He's going to be helping out the Mandibuzz here. I'm really, really excited about how my team has shaped up. So kind of wrapping this thing up, we got 3 more mons to go over real quick. I'm going to make it kind of quick because this thing is running a little bit longer than I thought it was going to. I think we're at about 22 minutes now. Wrap this thing up in the next 4 minutes, hopefully. Next mon that we're introducing is another returning Boston Beedrill from, is it Season 3? Yeah, I think Season 3. I think we actually had him last season as well. It may have been temporary that we had him. We didn't really use him that often. That's why I can't really remember. But it is going to be, let me make sure I'm hitting the right button here. The regular Scizor. Oh, that is not the right button. That button is the right button. Alright, so we have Scizor. We're using this pretty cool lime green shiny Scizor, nicknaming him Insectobot. Shoutouts to Cloud, who actually gave me the nickname for Insectobot, for Scizor, I mean. And obviously we're going to be using Technician on Scizor. Those bullet punches are going to hurt just a little bit more. He's going to be a fairy killer for us. He does have knockoff. He does have quite a bit of things. He does have the bulk that we need. He does have the setup that we need. He's also a defogger. I don't know why I said that so weird. So 100 base defense, 70 HP. He's got 130 base attack. Now, obviously, he's not going to want to take those fire hits. He's double prone to fire. But guess what? Guess who can take those fire hits? Volcanion. Volcanion can take those fire hits, and it won't do nothing. So there again, our team has that synchronization that we've been lacking in previous seasons. And I'm super excited to get some kills for Scizor. He was pretty good for us in Season 3. We did a lot of work with him. I don't think the kills were there, but I think that we were able to use them in a way that put pressure and was allowing like someone like Diggersby in Season 3 to come in and get the kill. So Scizor's going to be great for us. Swords Dance, you got the Roost to give him longevity. Again, you got the Defogger again. So really, really great. The next mon that we drafted is going to be a tier 6 mon. We drafted pretty late in the season. I've used his evolution last season, actually, and he actually did pretty well for his tier. And that is going to be, let me just make sure I have it right here. Actually, I don't remember what key I assigned to him. So, let me just check that out real quick. And I assigned him. Did I even assign him a key? Yes, I did. Makes sense too. All right, we got Rhydon here, and Rhydon's going to be rocking an Eviolite more than likely. He has that ability, Reckless or Rockhead. So you know, not going to be terrible. Lightning Rod doesn't do anything for him. So Rockhead, I can do moves that have recoil without any damage, but Reckless might be pretty good for him. Reckless might be pretty good. He can rock the double edge. You know what though? Honestly, until this exact moment, I really thought Rhydon had solid rock. Not gonna lie. That's why I kind of paused a second when I looked at the abilities and I didn't see solid rock there. So I'm just kind of like actually gazing through the moves right now. A little bit hesitant about this pick. I'm used to Rhyperior getting the solid rock, and I honestly don't know if either one of these abilities does that well for him. Well, let's actually just look him up real quick. Rhyperior. Nope, not Rhyperior. Rhydon. And you can kind of be with me on this journey right here as I try to figure out if I should drop this Pokemon or not. Just kind of want to see what Smogan recommends. Smogan recommends Lightning Rod, which is kind of interesting. I don't really know why you would want to do Lightning Rod. It actually prefers Lightning Rod on both of its sets. And it doesn't really, well, okay, whatever. If I want to run double edge, I guess that's what I'll run. Otherwise, the abilities are looking like they're going to be pretty useless. So, that's kind of disappointing. But anyway, let's look at the stats real quick. Let's just look over the stats. Rhyperior rocks a 105 HP, a 130 attack, and a 120 defense. This thing has bulk. A lot of bulk. Now, I thought maybe he could take the water hits and he could take the grass hits. But unfortunately, it looks like he's not going to be able to take those as well as I was hoping without that solid rock. But you know what? He's a rock setter for us, which is going to be good. He can take that hit, set those rocks on that first turn, or whenever I decide to bring him out. So, I think he's going to do all right. He doesn't have the ability that I thought he had, but I think he's going to be all right. And we nicknamed this guy Bully because he's going to just bully the coaches. He's going to bully them with that 130 attack, with those stab earthquakes, with those. Does he have Rock Wrecker? Please say he has Rock Wrecker. I don't actually know if he does or not, but it's looking like he does not have Rock Wrecker. But you know what? Stone Edge is still going to do a lot. It's not quite as much, and we don't have to recharge, but it has a high crit, 80% chance to hit. So we'll have to see exactly if that makes sense or not as we're playing. But he also has Rock Blast. Rock Blast is going to possibly break some subs for us. 90% accuracy. No, wait, hold on. Sorry. Rock Blast. Yeah, 90% accuracy. Can hit 2 to 5 times. Break some subs for us. Hit some weak Pokemon. I think Rhydon's going to do fine. I freaked out there for a second, but I think he's going to do fine. Now, the last Pokemon that is going to be on our squad this season is okay, well, some of my Pokemon disappeared here. Let me just bring them back. Not sure where they went, but so I'm also missing. No, I'm not. Okay, good. We're good. So the last Pokemon that I'm bringing onto the squad for Season 5 of the APA is going to be somebody who doesn't get a lot of attention, but I was looking at his stats, and they're really not that awful. And that's going to be Rotom Frost. And I really do believe Rotom Frost is going to do well for us. Levitate, he can take those ground hits. For Raikou, he can take those ground hits for a few other of our mons. We have already 2 flying types, so Levitate wasn't a huge thing for me. But he does still have the Volt Switch. So right now, let me just kind of take a look. On our team, we have a Volt Switcher with Rotom Frost. We have a U-Turner with Scizor. We have a Volt Switcher with Raikou. I'm pretty positive this thing gets U-Turn. Yep, right there, U-Turn. And then let's look at the other mons real quick. Does Mandibuss get U-Turn? Possibly. Yeah, U-Turn right there. Guess who else has U-Turn? Roger Rabbit. Guys, I can just sit there and Volt Switch and U-Turn to my heart's desire. I mean, that's pretty cool. I actually don't know if I realized that many mons on my team had U-Turn and Volt Switch, but it's definitely pretty cool. So back to Rotom Frost, he's going to be Frigidaire for us. Frigidaire after the name brand appliances, and he looks like a refrigerator. So I thought, Frigidaire, it's going to be good. He's got Will-O-Wisps. He's got Hex, it's going to double after a Will-O-Wisp or a Toxic. He's got Thunder Wave. So I can sit there and bring any assortment of those, and it's going to help me out. He does have Pain Split, which is going to help us with that. Those defense stats, 107 and 107 on both sides of the defense and special defense. Kind of a lackluster HP stat, but again, that Pain Split is going to help us with that. It's going to help give our Rotom Frost a little bit longevity, so we can really spam those Willows, those Thunder Waves, those Toxics. Now, something that's kind of interesting about Rotom Frost is he only has 1 stab ice move with Blizzard, with a 70% chance to hit, so 30% chance to miss. Does give us a 10% chance to freeze, so that can be interesting. That can definitely come into play. He can be a screen setter for us with Reflect and Light Screen. He actually has Sucker Punch. Not going to be very useful for us, but it's there. So he also has Thunderbolt. That's going to be a stab move for him. Volt Switch is going to be stab for him. Got a decent amount of coverage with Shadow Ball. Signal Beam, again, he has that Hex, as I mentioned earlier. Just checking real quick to see if he has anything else that looks interesting. Don't believe so, though. nothing too interesting. He does have a few quirky moves, kind of like Gourgeist does, that can be interesting to use in certain situations. But we'll just have to see how that goes and what coach we're facing and what kind of quirky strategy, because I do like quirky strategies that we can implement in those battles. Alright guys, before we head out here, I'm going to bring up one more screen for y'all to look at. And that's going to be kind of the document that we use. It has all the Pokemon listed here. And over to the right here at the bottom corner, you do see our schedule. Now, this season we're doing 9 weeks, and we're only facing coaches in our conference. So the conferences this season are the Kanto Red, the Kanto Blue, which is what we are in, and then the Johto Silver and the Johto Gold. So we have 9 battles. Our schedule it's pretty tough. So we got Gelwings, who is returning from last season, who is a great competitive coach. Second weekend, we got Banded Caterpie, who has kind of became our rival in the APA. We've faced each other every season since he joined in Season 3, and it's going to be really, really tough for us to win that battle, but we're going to put a lot of effort in, and we're going to try to get that win. We did beat him in Season 3. I'm going to keep how I beat him as I don't want to bring it up, put it that way, just because I'm pretty sure he has some sourness still about that battle, but I did beat him. I think it was 1-0. Then we have W Mar. I don't know how to actually pronounce that, so I just say W Mar. New coach, don't have a lot of experience with him battling. Then we have Jock. Jock is he's Irish or something like that. He's from Europe, put it that way. Then we have the Polish elf, who is not from Poland. He's actually from the U.S. Then we have Dan, our resident British guy, and Dan always puts up a fight. He beat me pretty bad last season. It was like a 70-turn battle. It lasted for an hour. It was pretty brutal. We have Cloud, who's always been a heck of a coach. Always made it to the playoffs, I believe. We have Hugo, who is probably one of the top tier coaches in the league. And then we have General Tar Heel, who I actually have faced once in a tournament. I beat him, but it was a very, very close match, and it could have went either way, honestly. So there's the 9 coaches that I'm facing this week. There's my team. We have the Volcanian, we have the Diggersby, the Mandibuzz, Sharpedo, Gorgeist, Exploud, Mega Pidgeot, Raikou, Scizor, which is not Mega, it's just regular Scizor, Rhydon, who does not have Solid Rock, and Rotom Frost. Guys, thank you so much for watching my draft analysis. Again, welcome to Season 5 of the APA. I'm super stoked to do better this season. I know we can do more than one win. If we can't, then we might just have to give up our spot next season. But guys, I will see you very, very soon. Today is Monday, November 21st. Today starts the first week of our 9 weeks. So expect to see my week 1 battle video up fairly soon. Again, guys, leave me a comment below on what you think about my team and any suggestions about possible pickups or trades that I could make to make my team just synchronize just a little bit better. I do think that they do synchronize pretty good at the moment, but there's always room for improvement. Also, leave my video a like if you enjoyed it, or if you just want to support it. Just, ignore the thumbs down over there. We want to keep those out. But alright guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. It's been 36 minutes. I'll see y'all soon. Peace.